Hey guys, CDTV back here with another episode of Hit Songs Ranked, and today we will be looking at Kanye West, fresh off of the release of his Ye album and his collaborative project Kids See Ghosts with Kid Cudi. As Kanye has an insane amount of hits, I've limited it to songs that charted in the top 12 of the Hot 100, giving me 9 songs in total to rank. So let's get right into it. This is CDTVProductions, and you can check out my twins' reaction to the 2 new Kanye projects on his CDTV The G channel linked below, and today I will be ranking Kanye West's hit songs from worst to best, in my opinion.
On the lawn shit, got a fresh cut straight out the salon, bitch.
This one is a decent song, but I just find it somewhat awkward if I'm being honest. It appears to have a few lyrics directed towards Kim Kardashian, which is a cute idea, but the ways in which Kanye showcases his love here is just strange in some places. Maybe that's the intent of the song, maybe it's supposed to show that Kanye isn't sure how to handle love, but it makes for an odd listen. Wouldn't Leave seems like a much better song talking about Kim, in my opinion. Sure, this track sounds like Ye's earlier music, with the soul samples and lighter tone than the rest of Yeezus, but I don't think the song taken as a whole lives up to Kanye's earlier hits. Charlie Wilson killed it with his vocals though.
Keep a secret code so everybody else don't have to know. So keep your love locked down, your love.
Here we have another song that I do enjoy, but there's a few issues I have with it. Now, for the most part, I loved what Kanye did with 808s and Heartbreak and the idea behind it. But, and I might get flack for saying this, maybe not, but this track sounds a bit too stripped down to me, to the point of sounding lifeless. Sure, you can hear Kanye's emotion during the hook, but the verses just don't have the same impact. The beat during the verses is super minimal too, featuring an 808 that follows the same 4-note pattern and some piano jabs. I get what he was going for, but it drags on a little bit for me. The way it builds up to a big instrumental finish at the end, that is cool, but I don't think the lead up to it is all that exciting.
Now I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke niggas. Now I ain't saying she a gold digger.
I think my biggest issue with this song actually stems from the fact that it hit #1 on the charts, because that meant it was played to death on the radio when I was a kid, and I've heard it so much to the point that I actually kinda blank it out when I hear it now, despite it being a fundamentally good song. It's got great lyrics, and all 3 verses consistently end with a bang, and a little bit of a twist on the last 2. It's really well produced, with Jamie Foxx's vocals from the intro being chopped up for the rest of the song, with some thumping kicks to go over it. But personally, I don't think it's unfair to lose a bit of love in a song that came out 13 years ago and still gets played a hell of a lot to this day.
Awesome, the Christian and Christian Dior. Damn, they don't make them like this anymore. I ask, cause I'm not sure. Do anybody make real shit anymore?
So this one is lower for pretty much the same reason I had for Gold Digger, as this track also hit #1 in the charts and was again played to death here in the UK. The track nails the anthemic sound it wanted to achieve, and if there's one song that represents the theme of graduation perfectly, it's this track. The song has a pretty motivational sound to it, with the hook following the idea of whatever doesn't kill me makes me stronger. This is a song that would absolutely bump in a concert, and it's one of Kanye's most commercially appealing songs, which explains its #1 hit status. But like I've said, it's almost a little bit nauseating with the pure amount of times that I've heard this track.
Somewhere far along this road, he lost his soul to a woman so heartless.
So I had some criticisms for Love Lockdown, which came from the same album as this track, but this song is 808s and Heartbreak done perfectly in my opinion. It still sounds empty, but in an appealing way, with more variation than songs like Love Lockdown. Kanye's pain is still very apparent whilst still sticking with that modest sound. This was inspired by a real life breakup, which as you can tell, Kanye really took to heart, no pun intended. And the emptiness he feels is displayed by the cold sound of the autotune on this track. He laid his emotions bare for people on this song, and not to mention, it's just so easy to get that hook stuck in your head. This is one of my favourite songs from 808s, it's so well done. Now I have a special place in my heart for feel-good songs. If a song can put a smile on my face, then it's instantly a song I can enjoy. And this song fits that definition to a T. It's crafted really well with some great synths and electronic sounds to it to give it this uplifting vibe. The track is all about Kanye enjoying the good life that he achieved for himself with all his hard work, and serves as a celebration of success. T-Pain helps further this sound with his passionate vocals, and his voice fits in perfectly considering the more electronic style production that Kanye utilizes here. Graduation features a few songs that provide an inspirational feeling, such as Champion or The Glory, but this one nails that happy sound for me.
I walk through the valley of the shadow where death is. Top floor, the view alone and leave you breathless. Try to catch it, it's kinda hard getting choked.
And now we have one of Kanye's earliest singles coming from his first album, The College Dropout, with Kanye rapping about Jesus over marching drums and background vocals from a choir. Now, apparently, a fair bit, if not all of the song, was written by Rhymefest, but that doesn't really take away from the song for me. It's a pretty damn religious track, and Kanye even references this, saying he doubts the song would even get played on the radio because it focuses on the idea of faith rather than typical mainstream rap topics. However, he did later say he used this line as reverse psychology, so radio stations would play it because he called them out for not doing it.
But if I talk about God, my record won't get played. What that was little reverse psychology.
It was a very bold statement for such an early single. Also, less importantly, the lyrics also reference Happy Gilmore, which is a film, and I'm not joking, I watched around 40 to 50 times as a kid. I always watched it when I was on holiday in Spain for some reason. It was like my go-to movie. I seriously loved that movie.
So I think it's time for us to have a toast. Let's have a toast for the douchebags. Let's have a toast for the asshole.
This is a song that could really be considered as one of Kanye's masterpieces. Clocking in at a runtime of over 9 minutes long, West manages to keep the song interesting the whole time, and it never really gets bland or slows down. This is another song where Kanye is really open, reflecting on his own behaviour and his flaws when it comes to relationships and his own personality. And the surprising thing is that all of this is sung by Kanye, and his singing actually sounds pretty nice. It's not perfect or flawless in any way, but the imperfect singing makes it all the more personal. Pusha T even drops by to provide a verse that is almost the opposite of what Kanye is talking about, which is exactly how Ye wanted Pusha to sound. He wanted Push to sound as douchey as possible. The song is just fantastic, and even though the last 3 minutes and 45 seconds of the song is just the instrumental and Kanye singing through a vocoder, it's something that somehow doesn't get old or overstay its welcome, at least in my opinion. It's such a great track.
Come on, and when it all falls down, man, I promise, I'm so self-conscious. That's why you always see me with at least one of my watches.
One of my favourite things about Kanye is his self-awareness, because that's the thing that makes the brashness and ego of his character so much easier to bear and understand. And that trait of his is displayed really well on this track as he tackles consumerism throughout both the song's verses. The first verse isn't from Kanye's perspective, but rather a woman who is clearly struggling with money, but dreams of buying things such as new shoes, when in reality it would be better to save up or spend it elsewhere. Her desire for these things is showcased really well with this line. Then, in the second verse, Kanye starts talking about his own experiences with being self-conscious and seeking validation by purchasing luxury items. It's always respectable to see an artist talk about their weaknesses and flaws so openly. And the third verse is just one of his greatest ever. We also have great production here that has this super catchy bass line, and the featured vocalist Selena Johnson provides some soulful vocals for the chorus. Everything about this song is just amazing, and that's why it's at the top of my list. Well guys, that is going to be it for the video today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. Now let me know what your personal list or ranking of these songs is in the comment section down below. I think the great thing about doing a list like this on Kanye is the fact that I think honestly everyone will have their own different version of this list, because he's someone that changes his sound so frequently, and these songs are over like such a wide span of his music that your ranking of this list really depends on what style of Kanye you like, what sound you like from him. So I'd definitely be interested in seeing how you guys would rank these songs in your opinions. Like I said, if you want to see my twin's reaction to the Ye album and Kid Cudi Ghosts, his channel will be linked in the description below. He'll also have just uploaded his reaction to Story of Adidon by Pusha T. I know, he was late to that one. And that's all I got to say today guys, so thank you so much for watching this one. I will see you all in the next video, whatever that may be, and this is CDTV Productions, signing out.